Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome to another live edition of This is Tom's World. I know that there are some of you on YouTube who might be watching an ad right now. Although I did not turn on monetization for this. Um, I might do that afterwards or while we're sitting here. I don't know if I could do that during a live feed. Let's just see. Um, I don't know if I can. Let me see here. I don't think I can. Oh, wait. No, it says it's going live. Okay. And then turn on monetization. There we go. Cool. And then I hit save. And then I make sure that the live chat replay was already done. Cool. So that when people rewatch this or watch it as a live stream or as a recorded stream, we'll say, then they'll see the chat here and everything. Although they won't see all the comments because for the first time in a long time, this live feed is actually going to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page for This is Tom's World. So let's see here. We have John Vincent says, Happy New Year. Keep the videos coming. I am doing my best. I recorded one today. How's it going? How's it going? The topic today is hi Susan or Suzanne. I'm sorry. The topic for today. Well, we're gonna try to see if we can come up with some new places for me to go to, and we're gonna talk about a place that I tried to go to yesterday. It was almost about an hour drive from here, and Happy New Year, Scott. Um, it was almost an hour's worth of driving from here yesterday just to get to this place. But I was not able to record a video there, and I'll explain why. I'm going to let some time go by before I do that. So, just want to say first off, Happy New Year to everybody. Let's hope that 2024 is even better than 2023. As far as my channel goes, 2023 was a pretty big deal. I had finally, back in March, reached 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours worth of watch time within a year's span of time. So that was a big deal. My channel got monetized. Not to say that that's making me rich at all. I've had one payout from YouTube since I became monetized, and the way it works is all these ads that you see that come on the videos. They pay me like cents on the dollar for it, basically. And it adds up over time. Once you reach $100 in that revenue, then they pay it out to your bank account on the next 20 something of the month. I forget which date it was, but so that's only happened once so far, and that was back in August. I'm close to this next one, so everybody, watch my videos, get the ad revenue going by all means. What's up, Squib? How are you, man? I've been seeing your shorts coming out, man. I've been watching. Okay. I guess I can. Enough time has gone by. People are here. But also, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, down here there's that little thumbs up button. Make sure you click on that because it's very, very important. That's good, Squib. You guys got to go check out Squib's channel too. He's pretty cool, man. He's called me out a couple times. So where I drove to, it was Chalfont, PA. So it's not far from Doylestown, but I don't take toll roads. So it took almost about an hour to get there. And why I went there is there is a gentleman who has watched my videos, who came across my videos, and he is from that area, and he recalled when he was younger and his father used to take him to soccer practice, they would go past this wooded area, and his father would tell him about an amusement park that was there called Forest Park. And I got intrigued when he asked me if I had ever heard about this. And I said, no, that sounds really cool. And it's not that far. So I went online. I started looking up everything I could. I read everything I could find. I watched every video I could find, but the videos were just people talking about the place, and they might show like old pictures from there and stuff like that. But there was no video footage of it now, like as it exists today. What's left in there? And I know it's mostly just picnic areas, like benches and tables and stuff like that. Uh, but I wanted to get in there. I wanted to check this out because we all know I've done a couple of different places where amusement parks were. There was Toursdale Park. There was the amusement park on the Neshaminy Creek by the falls, not far from the Neshaminy Mall. And I really wanted to get in there and check this out because just based on some of the things I've read, some comments on things that people have given, there might be more than just the picnic areas left in there. Not a whole lot, but like enough. Some of the bases like for the roller coaster that they had in there, maybe the pit left over from where the carousel was. I wanted to get in there and I wanted to check this out bad. So I downloaded from a site called Pen Pilot. I downloaded some aerial shots from back in the 40s or 50s. I can't remember exactly which. And I was looking at that, and then I was comparing it to Google Maps and everything. I was kind of plotting out where everything was and where I was going to walk to. I even plotted out where I was going to park, how I was going to get across the railroad tracks, all that stuff. And so I went there yesterday. I was ready. I was raring to go, even though I was slightly hungover from New Year's Eve. I was hanging here with the goddess, and we're having a good time watching Better Call Saul, and the drinks were flowing a little. So, but it wasn't enough to keep me from this because I was super excited about it. So I got in the car and I drove there, and the first spot that I parked at, based on the GPS, I'm like, wait, this isn't right. So I looked again on the GPS. I found where I wanted to park, led myself over there. I go across the train tracks, and it's pretty dense, the growth. So I walked down to where I knew there was a path that I saw on Google Maps, but then I was thwarted right away. There was this sign that said no hunting. I thought, well, that's no problem. I'm not hunting. And then it said no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. Some water company, I forget the name of it, Penn something water company, something like that. And they do have like a water treatment plant in the back of the woods, but not there. And I said, well, this can't be right. So I went out of the woods there and I start walking back, and I did see a black truck, had a bunch of stickers on it and stuff like that on the tailgate. But it was just chilling there in the woods on the other side of the tracks. And I'm guessing he was there to enforce the no trespassing thing. So I didn't want to cause any trouble. And we all know I don't trespass in my videos. I just won't do it. I know a lot of people do it on YouTube, and that's fine. I know my luck, and I'll wind up getting some kind of fine for it or something like that. So I don't do that. So I decided to keep walking down along the woods to see if I kept seeing those signs, to which I did. So then I started going down the like around the corner of it, which actually the Neshaminy Creek, or at least the north branch of the Neshaminy Creek, runs through there. So I went on the other side of Neshaminy Creek, and there was like a little park area, and it had a picnic table and stuff. And I thought, all right, well, this is cool. Maybe if I keep following this, but I was on the wrong side of Neshaminy Creek. So I could see when I got around on the other side of the creek at one point, there was a path that led down to the creek, and I could see those same signs there. I'm like, all right, what the heck is going on here? I mean, this is like history here. This is and we're being blocked from it by this water company. And I got a little down about that. And Happy New Year, Jen Sylvania. You keep doing those videos too. Your videos are cool. So I got a little frustrated at this point because I did a lot of walking around, and it was getting later. It was like 3:00, 3:15, and I thought, I don't have much daylight left at this point. So I just walked back to my car, and I figured, I'll come home and I'll look it up on Google Maps, I'll do the street view and see if I see those signs along the back end of the woods. Of course, that's where the water treatment plant is, so they have that all made so that there's signs, there's fences, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I tried to contact this guy. His last name escapes me. His first name's John. Well, I was trying to find a way to contact this guy. He is like the lead person for the Friends of Forest Park, which is a group of people that were supposed to be taking care of this place, because that's what happens. Like, you got the Friends of Pennypack Park, the Friends of this park, Friends of that, and they they go in, they do trash removal, whatever, do the upkeep. So I'm figuring if I can get in touch with him, maybe he can help me out, because I did see in some of the videos that he was in, and it could have been before the water company took over, him saying, when I bring people in there and they see the picnic areas, then they finally understand how you could get over 100,000 people or whatever it was in this park, because there was multiple picnic areas, and I mean it was really cool. It had a pool. It had this little area called Frontierland, which was created there in 1948. They had a Native American that worked for them, and and he would work with the kids in the frontier land, like show them around different species of trees, the animal tracks, all kinds of stuff. And once a day, they had a train ride that went through there. Once a day, that train ride would get robbed by this guy, and I can't remember what they call him, Chief something. I can't. I don't know. I've just gotten so frustrated with it. A lot of it's just like leaking out of my brain until I can try to find out what's going on. Yeah, I do know that, but like, there's no reason for them to have the entire wooded area there. I could see them wanting to have the area around their treatment plant, which is at the back end of these woods, and I can maybe see them having the little road going from the railroad tracks back and around. But the rest of the woods, there's no reason for them to have that. It's not like they're laying pipes in there or anything like that I can tell, or that I've read about, or anything like that. So I really, really, really wish there was a way for me to get in there. So yesterday I was quite frustrated. So I just came back and I continued rewatching Breaking Bad, which I'm it wasn't that long ago that me and Stephanie had watched Breaking Bad from beginning to end, and we're currently watching Better Call Saul, and we're almost done that. I think we might only have one episode left, actually. Um, I never really cared about watching these when they were out, but like now they're pretty cool. I got to say, overall, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, not a bad couple series there. Recommend it, but it was yeah, it was a little upsetting yesterday, especially for that long drive. So on the way back, I decided, I let the GPS take me to County Line Road, and I just took County Line Road all the way down. But then I made a little beeline on Park Avenue in Warminster, and went past my old workplace, the Burpee Seed Company. Of course, it's been 11 years since I've been there, a little over 12, we'll say, or I mean, a little over 10. Yeah, I can do math. Um, but it was December of 2013. Um, and I do miss the money from that job. I just don't miss the office politics that were there. Not my cup of tea. But it's I just kind of wanted to be sit in silence, no radio on, no nothing. I was just trying to calm myself down. I mean, not that I was upset, but I was depressed about it. Yeah, yeah, I think it was pretty cool. I'm getting pretty far in that too. Let's see, I got called out for filming one of myself. Apparently, I was next to power plant to restart the grid. Well, you know, I have to say, in some of your stealth videos, you're lucky you haven't been called out after making the video, like after the fact. Like, even say over at the Catherine Drexel Shrine. Now, since you've been there, and it's not because of you, has to do more so with the vandalism that was going on there. But not long after you did that video, you might have noticed if you've driven by, there's like little chains going across every entrance, and it says no trespassing, and it says 24-hour surveillance, and it's it really stinks. And I did reach out to people on Facebook, and I had a couple people get back to me, but it kind of dwindled off. But I was asking if anybody knew anybody that I could talk to get onto the grounds legally, because I know that you called me out for making a proper history video, and I thought, that's a really good idea before they decide to demolish the buildings that are on there. There's a couple buildings they cannot demolish because they're on the registry, but it would be nice to be able to document it. Again, I won't trespass, so yeah. Hey, Lori, how are you tonight? Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Down by River Road and all that down there. Yeah, they're very tight on their security. I I don't know. I can't help but think there's something else going on those lands other than just water treatment. I've heard some stories of like how adamant they are about people being there and stuff like that. Because I've thought about doing a video down there, but I drove by and I saw how tight things were set up, and I didn't want to get in trouble. So, but yeah, if I could find a way into them. However, even if I could find a way into them, I know it was said that after closing, or it might even have been before closing down the Byberry campus on the opposite side of the boulevard from Benjamin Rush. When they closed that down, and what was it, the 80s? Um, might have been early 90s, but I think it was the 80s. No, had to be the 80s. Um, I think at some point they went into those tunnels and they constructed walls every so many feet so that even if somebody did get down there, they wouldn't get too far into them because they worried about the safety of people. Of course, these things collapsing, they're pretty old. But so yeah, even if I did get in there, even if I had a sledgehammer, I'd be risking my life by doing so, and I'd probably get in trouble with the law too. But I do know that some of those tunnels went all the way to Shallcross, at least from what I was told back when I went to Shallcross. Yes, I went to Shallcross. I was a bad boy. Um, but um, but yeah, I've never found any entrance to the tunnels. I know people that have been in them, so I know they exist. Most of them were flooded, from what people told me, but I just can't seem to find any entrance into them. I mean, with the buildings being gone, it's really tough. And I don't know. I think when they made the tunnels, they had already closed down the side of Byberry that was part of Benjamin Rush State Park. Um, I might be wrong on that, but yeah, it'd be nice to get down there. It would make an interesting video. Oh, let's see, what do we got? Yeah, see, they need to post signs. I mean, if an area is to be no trespassing, there should be signs to say that. That is very fair, especially for us explorers. I'm skipping comments. They can, but there's no reason to condemn the buildings on the Catherine Drexel Shrine area because they're very sound. They're very stable. They took very good care of them over the time that's been around, which I'm not even sure exactly how far back the Catherine Drexel Shrine property goes. I know it goes back really, really far, but they've done a good job on the upkeep of that place. So that's not going anywhere. It's not going to be condemned unless they condemn it, and say, oh, this is bad. The Delaware River Viaduct. Where's that at? You've been in the tunnels. Wow. Wow. That's very cool. Off the side road. Uh oh is the name of that street? my girlfriend's mom and her aunt are probably, if they're seeing this, they're like, dude, it's this. Let me see. Carteret? No, not Carteret. What the heck is it? I'll find out momentarily. Let's see. Route 1, Benjamin Rush Park, Southampton Road, Carter Road. I was almost right. Well, no. Yeah. Carter Road was the first after you cross the boulevard towards that end of Byberry, like going from Ben Rush on Southampton Road across the boulevard. You'd have the entrance for Byberry on your right was one street, and then the next one was Carter Road. So yeah, I was almost right when I said Carteret. We ended up inside the building from the tunnel, and we were able to go all the way up into the attic where there was a big stage and lots of Christmas decorations. If there was a big stage, then yeah, you were in the auditorium. I was in that place once. I only went to Byberry maybe 3 times, maybe 4. Definitely 3. Twice during the day, once during the night. The time I went at night was with just a handful of friends. We decided to go there, and we went up onto the roof of the one building, and they had these big concrete slabs, and we were just like all collectively pushing it so it fell off the building and then hit the ground. And then you see the security guards that were on the grounds running around trying to figure out what's going on, but they would not go into the buildings because they knew that the kids knew the buildings better than they did, and they didn't want to get hurt. So they didn't get paid enough for that. But the 2 times I was there during the day, I did see the morgue, and I did see the theater. It was hard to see the theater because there's no windows in there, and I don't think we had flashlights. Just to show how long ago it was, I think we had pagers that we could like turn a light on so we could barely see things. But it was pretty cool. I saw a lot of the graffiti and stuff on the walls. It was neat. It's the first. Yeah, that's Carter Road. Yep. Mount Bethel. I'll have to check that out. Sounds fun. So yeah, so I didn't get to do my Forest Park video, which I'm very sad about. I was getting very into the history of that. But I knew I still had to make a new video for the year, at least in the first week of the year. So, all right, Squib, have a good one, man. Appreciate you stopping by. But I did go out and make a video today. I was looking through messages that I had gotten from people on my Tom's World Facebook, which you can find in the bottom of every description of every video that I've done. And if you need to contact me for any reason, it was scarier in the nighttime. Trust me. I heard people coming up the stairs, and there was never anybody on the stairs. So I was a little, but I was looking through comments, and then I came across some people talking to me about Eden Hall, and I did make the video there, and it's been 3 years since I made that video. If you can imagine that, it was January of 21. It just doesn't seem that long, because it also made me realize that in about a month will be the 4-year anniversary of my channel, and it's just weird. It doesn't seem like I've been doing this for 4 years, and I probably should have a lot more videos than I do, but I have a decent amount, I think. So I went back to Fleur Park today. I wanted to revisit the place with the knowledge that I had. And I didn't go too deep into the history because I did that in the first video. I mean, I didn't go super, super deep, but, I did talk about the history, how Jacqueline Kennedy, a couple of her aunts had something to do with the Sisterhood of the Sacred Hearts. Edward Morrell was buried, well, not buried. Edward Morrell resided in the cemetery that was at Eden Hall, in like one of those mausoleum type things, he and his wife. And then all the bodies were moved from there to a different cemetery, supposedly. And I wanted to recheck out the cemetery area where the grotto is. Still looks super cool. I wanted to walk around the area. Now, this time I actually knew where the building was, the Eden Hall building. So it was the church, it was the convent, it was the school. Pretty much all the buildings were there. And I show exactly where it was, like from a Google map. I haven't finished editing this by any means, but I'm going to try to finish as much of it tonight as I can, so I have that much less to do tomorrow, and I can try to get it uploaded as quick as I can. My goal is to have that out by tomorrow night. But I show where the building was, because you could still see on when I went to Google Earth, you could still see the outlines of the building, which you can't see when you're standing in the field. But when you see it from the aerial shot, you can see the outline of the entire building, which is super cool. And then I show a picture of what the building looked like, in an old black and white picture. It looks like it came from the newspaper because it's kind of pixelated, but you can still see it. And I talk about how the church was there much longer than the rest of the buildings were, and they were kind of renting that out for different things, until finally it started to fall into disrepair. And then there were 2 different fires set, and by that second fire, it just took it out. So they just had to take down the ruins, which I think it would have been cool to just leave the stone walls of the church, as ruins. But I can understand why they would want to take it away. It's just going to be a means for more graffiti, and for people to hang out doing things, underage drinking, blah blah blah. I get all that. Although we did that in the woods, but still, it would have been nice for something to have been there. Maybe if they just left like one wall, like not even like a corner, maybe like a little corner of it or something, or just the 4 corners of it, not real high, just maybe like 3 feet high or something as a remembrance of it. But apparently the foundations are still in the ground. Otherwise, you would not be able to see the outline of the entire building. So it was cool being there again. And again, that video, I'm hoping to have that out by tomorrow night, hopefully. Definitely not by dinner time. It might be more around this time tomorrow night, maybe closer to 8 o'clock. Not sure. It all depends on how much editing I can get done tonight. I still have a lot to go through, but a lot of it's just going to be, just dropping it in and cutting it up a couple places, and so it shouldn't be too bad. But it was fun being back there. It's been a little while. My first video there, as I said, was back in January of 21. I did go back there again when I did the history of Edward Morrell Park, that video, which that one did pretty well, if I remember correctly. And at the end of that, I did go back there because I found out in doing my research on him that he was buried at that cemetery. And I probably found out where he is currently, but I do not remember. Was not an important part of the video for today, so I didn't worry about researching it. But for Forest Park, I had things. I had my sister print out stuff for me from a Wikipedia page. I was prepared. I had the history. I had everything, all my talking points. I just couldn't get there. It's so sad. But anyway, so that kind of brings you up to date. I did do a couple of videos over the holiday season where Stephanie and I were traveling around, doing some shopping and stuff like that. And I showed you guys some cool places out near the mountains and out near like Lancaster. I think we did some. In the one video, I took you guys to Hot Dog Johnny's, and I got to have my first Hot Dog Johnny. But when we came back the last time, we were coming that way anyway. We were coming so close to it, so we just said, we need something to eat for dinner, and might as well stop at Hot Dog Johnny's. While I was there, I was talking to the employees there, and I was asking if the person that runs their social media was there because I wanted to thank them. Um, I tagged them in that video where I did the review of the hot dogs, and they posted the video to their Facebook page. It's over in Buttsville, Buttsville, New Jersey, and it's the hot dogs are good, man. They really are. The way we get them is their normal way of making it, which is just raw onions, mustard, and a pickle on top. I mean, generally I like cheese with my hot dogs, but I think cheese would have just made that even more sloppy than it was. It was it was good as it was. I liked it. So I recommend that if anybody's ever in the area of Buttsville, New Jersey, look up on your GPS for Hot Dog Johnny's. It's pretty good. They've been around for a long time. Cheers. Let's see here. Well, I do know is Paul's Run, is that the one that runs along near the Northeast Airport? I see signs for some kind of run there. But no, I've not really done videos on that of any tributaries that I can think of, really. Oh, really? That's weird because, well, yeah, I mean, I know Morel and the Drexels, the Morels and the Drexels were close, not only close in proximity, but they hung out and stuff like that. Um, didn't know there was a marriage between them, or maybe I did at some point. But I wouldn't think he'd be buried at Catherine Drexel's shrine. I mean, the only thing you could see from 13 that I've ever paid attention to were the little half circle stones, and I think they're all nuns who have passed on. And I wouldn't think he'd go from being in a mausoleum to being buried in the ground, but I guess, by that point he was long gone. It's not like he could argue. Norwalk, but okay. Okay, yeah. What's the one that runs by the airport? I always see it. It says something run on it. And I remember looking that up, saying, "What the heck is a run? What is?" I mean, when I saw it, I just thought they meant like the paved trail that goes around the Northeast Airport. That's where you run. But then I come to find out it had to do with like underground tributaries and stuff like that. But I never really looked into it that much. It might be something I'm going to have to do because I am running out of places in far Northeast and Bensalem, which is why I'm trying to reach out further. Like I'm, going to Chalfont and places like this. I know there's a place in Warminster I would like to get to. Yeah. I already did that one. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Anyway, I saw movement in there, so I just clicked on the last one. But there's a place in Warminster. I think it's called Craven Hall, and it has something to do with a war that went on. And I usually remember the name. It's the battle of something. Oh, Billet Creek, the battle of Billet Creek, something like that. And I wanted to look into that. I just have not done that yet. And I was actually just passing by through that area. Obviously, if I was passing by Burpee when I was coming back from Chalfont, it had me taking county line all the way down. So, yeah, I definitely would like to do that. I know a lot of people have asked me about the little village that's part of the air base up there by 611 and County Line and Street Road. But that's off limits. You're not allowed to go in there, and I won't trespass. So, Crooked Billet. That's it. Thank you. I knew Billet was in there somewhere. I used to pass by it every day for 11 years. I passed by that every day. Walton's Run. Yes. That's it. Walton's Run. Thank you again. I can always count on you guys, man, for picking up where I can't remember. You guys are awesome like that. Cheers to you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into them, and I will eventually look into that Crooked Billet. It's been on my radar since even before I was making YouTube videos. I wanted to find out about it. It's just by the time I would get home, I'd be like, I'll watch videos instead. I know, right? I was never a very studious person at all. I could not have cared less about history. If you'd have told me back then about some of the things that fascinate me now, I'd be like, I don't care. But now, yeah. I mean, granted, I didn't graduate in the class of 85. I graduated in the class of 93. But since becoming an adult, things, I mean, the older you get, I guess the more history appeals to you, the more things you start making connections and you think it's cool. Like say when I went to the Byberry Friends meeting house and I was looking at the headstones, because not all the graves there have headstones, but there are a significant amount on the side that do, and some of the names were just standing out to me, like Townsend Road, the Knight family, Knights Road, all different names of roads and areas, names of areas in this immediate area, and I was like, wow, look at this. Well, I would have been the class of 93 at Washington. But as I mentioned before, when I went to Washington in ninth grade, I found out eventually how easy it was to just not go to a class. And it all started with auto shop, because I couldn't find where the auto shop class was. Whatever the number was, like let's just say it was like B7 or something like that. I'd go down there. I said, all right, B5, B6, B8. Where's B7? It was on the other side of the cafeteria. I didn't know that. So I just didn't go to it for the first few weeks. And then I started realizing it was easy to just not go to this one and that one. And then in order to avoid the call home, the automated call, all you had to do was go to homeroom advisory class for 15 minutes. And the rest of the day, you could just not go to class until the disciplinarian called my mom. And then I went to Shallcross, and I was there for half of ninth grade, all of 10th grade. And then they said that I was, able to go back. So I went back to Washington and eventually started falling into my old habits again. So my mom and my dad had yanked me out of there, and we talked about it, and they put me into Student Ed, Delaware Valley Student Education Center, which no longer exists. It used to be on Bustleton Ave down by that beer distributor. I can't remember the crossroad, but in that school, as long as you pass, each school year of a normal school year is 2 school years there. So I actually wound up graduating 6 months early. I graduated in January of 93 instead of June. And so I graduated when I was 17, not 18. But, or no. Yeah, I was 17 because I turned 18 the next month in February. So, but yeah, I still wound up graduating early, so I was okay. What's going on, Rich? How you doing? Happy New Year. Washington Crossing, New Jersey side, PA side. Well, I've done both. If it's, I think even on the thumbnail it says something about 300 subscribers on it or something like that. I was celebrating the fact that I had 300 subscribers. So I went there and I did do a walkthrough. Like I walked across that bridge and went over to the Jersey side, but I didn't go too far into the Jersey side because I didn't want to get too far from my car, and I already felt weird parking in one state and then walking to another one. But I might go back there again at some point, precisely for that reason. Bowman's Tower. Problem with that though is my fear of heights, and I've watched videos that people made when they went up to the top, and even just watching the videos, I could feel my stomach wanting to do flips. Not only because it's tall, but it's not super tall, but it's on top of a hill for the entire area. So like you could see really far, and that's cool and all, but we'll have to see if I can do that. My fear of heights actually prevented me from doing a video in Atlantic City. There's a lighthouse in Atlantic City, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head again, but it's the only one in Atlantic City. It's like at the end of the boardwalk, so like the end of the boardwalk, like after Ocean Casino. You could see it from like we tend to stay at the Hard Rock when we go there, and you could see it from the window if you get the right perspective in the room. And from the window of the hotel, it doesn't look that tall, but when you go there, it does, and the stairs just kind of wind up, and no. I think just the walk up the stairs would cause like a cardiac arrest of some kind. But Bowman's Tower, I'm gonna try at some point. We talked about that actually with the lighthouse, where she said that, she said, I'll just go up and I'll take your camera with me. Like, yeah, no, it's not the same because it's got to be me talking and stuff like that, and I'm not going to put a voiceover in there. That's it. Yes, that's the third highest one in the USA. I didn't know that. I probably failed to read that on the literature that they had there posted all over the place. We did, when we went there, we were going to go into Lucy the Elephant. I think is Lucy. Yeah, Lucy the Elephant. However, the day we went, there were so many people, and it was just so loud, and a lot of them were kids. I said, no, this is not going to make a good video, and I'm not gonna make the video with no sound and then do a voiceover for it. I'd rather do my voice in real time like I always do. But at some point we'll get into that too. Sorry if I keep sniffling. I do have allergies going on. I also just got over pink eye as well. I don't know how I wound up getting that. I mean, I do work at the park. I do deal with the trash bags. The trash bags do have, the little doggy bags in them and stuff like that. So, I mean, who knows what happened. But Thursday night, I started realizing that it might be pink eye. And then by Friday, I suspected it definitely was. Went to the urgent care, and they said it was. I've been taking drops for it ever since. I got my drops right here. But it's been gone since like Sunday morning. My eyes got really pink though. And it's not fun. It's like you constantly feel like there's something in your eye, like an eyelash or a piece of dust or something like that. And it's not fun. And you wake up in the morning, your eyes are crusted up. But thankfully we're past that. And hopefully I never get that again. Yeah, right? The alcohol should kill it, you would think. But it didn't kill it on Friday night. And it didn't kill it on Saturday night. It was the drops that did it in the end. But But yeah, I got allergies going on too. Apparently, I get allergies in the last few years. It's like all year long. I don't know what I'm allergic to in the winter. This winter is a little different because we've had some warmer temperatures than we normally do, which makes me worry. Like Mother Nature's just like pulling back, just waiting. Like she's got a slingshot. She's just pulling it back further and further. Like, yeah, yeah, you get a little comfortable, and then we're gonna get hit. And then I'm gonna learn how to plow at that point, which I don't know how to do, but I will be learning eventually. It doesn't seem that hard. You have controls and everything. Hey, Michael, how are you? Happy New Year. Welcome to the live feed. You're only 45 minutes late, man, but that's all right. Yeah. I didn't mean to click on that. I already did that one. So anyway, any suggestions from anybody other than the few that we got for places for me to check out? I mean, I can always do revisits. I don't like doing too many of them, and I just did one today. So if I do a revisit, and yes, I just said do. If I do a visit, then yeah, it'll be a little bit. That's all right, man. Not a problem. That would be cool. If we could, I mean, I do want to do a gathering at Neshaminy State Park in the garden at some point, and we can walk around and I can point out for those of you that didn't hear it the many times that I showed everything, or just to be able to see it in person, I can point out where everything was, the mansion, the tower, like all that stuff, and I can show you guys all the things that I had found if you don't mind walking. But I definitely wanted to do that, and then maybe have us all go over to Curran's for like a beer or something like that. I think that would be cool, or any drink of your choice. Haunted Lane. What's on Haunted Lane though? I mean, I know that there's that little area of open preserved area, but it's not really that big. And I think that actually has something to do with the state as well. Not saying we do anything with that at the park from the park, but I think the state does. But what would be on there? I mean, I see a lot of houses, a couple businesses, stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, outside of doing a walking tour of it, I could just like park on 13 or something somewhere, and then, or I could just go to. I know somebody that lives there. I could just go to their house, park the car there, and bring my bike with me, and just take the bike out, and do like a little walking tour, biking tour. You're in for that, for doing a thing at Neshaminy? That would be cool. Yeah, I've thought about that quite a bit, and I've had people ask me, why not do like tours there and stuff like that? But I mean, it's not that big of a tour. The garden's not as big as it looks in the videos, but yeah, I think that would be very cool, and it would be a chance for me to meet people in person, which I love. I love when I meet you guys in person. Okay, that'd be cool. On Haunted Lane, really? Yeah, some of the houses along there do seem older. We'll say. Uh, I mean, you get the feeling that they've been there a while, but some of them are newer. They don't look new per se, but they are newer. We'll say newer than the house that I'm currently in, because this area wasn't built till 1960s sometime. But that could definitely be cool. So I'm just looking at little stats up top here. So we got 3 people watching on Facebook and 11 people watching on YouTube. You guys are awesome. Lake Louise was on Haunted Lane. The time called Totem Road. I think some of it is still called Totem Road. Still parts of the fence still standing where that was also a shooting range. On Haunted Lane? Really? Let's here, let me bring up a little map here and find my way to where are we at here? Wrong end. All right, 13. Neshaminy Creek. Okay, so we convert this to satellite and then bring this over for you guys to see. Oh, let me tend to some comments here first. Fort Mifflin. Yeah, you know what? I've been asked to go there. I believe that's where some people that I have known that are involved in the paranormal field. They've done some investigations there and stuff. The outside is filmable. We'll say the inside of the Biddle Estate is not. I have not yet gone there. I'm going to try to go there this spring. I'm going to give them time to set up the gardens and stuff like that because they really are beautiful. I've seen some other people that went there and made videos there, and the garden is very, very beautiful. Yeah, I got to show you, man. I'm telling you, I filmed it a couple of weekends ago, but I accidentally deleted it off of my phone because I was gonna continue filming stuff in there. There's a couple things in there that I had on the video that have not yet been shown on my channel, and that's one of them. But I got to show you. You're gonna be like, whoa, what the hell? Shooting range south on State Road right before. Yeah, I do know there's a shooting range there. I mean, I hear it all day long. Some days when I'm at work. Yeah. I got to show it to you, man. Huh. Yeah, the shooting range is now south. Yeah. But it was on Haunted Lane though. Let me do what I was gonna do here and present share screen. Yeah, that's it. Google Maps. Here we go. So let me make this bigger. There we go. That way you can see it all. And let me go back to it here. So we have, this is State Road and this is Haunted Lane. Now this is the open preserve area that I was talking about right here. Where would there been a shooting range? Let's see. So you can see right here it says Haunted Lane. Here it says Totem Road. So some of it is still called Totem Road. I mean, maybe it was an indoor shooting range. Could have been at any one of these businesses here. It goes here, goes under the tracks, and then comes out on 13. And then continues on the other side of Bristol Pike until Bridgewater Road. Dockside, Bensalem. I don't think I've been there. There was another place down here somewhere that I went to. But how much of a joke is this park? Air quote park. Well, I mean, Croydon's doing their best. But yeah, Haunted Lane. It's Totem Road, Haunted Lane, Totem Road, and then it says Haunted Lane, then it says Totem Road, then it says Haunted Lane, Totem Road. Like it goes back and forth. It's weird. All right, let me take that off. Come back here. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder if on here, while I have this up, if on here you're able to see. Let me find Grant Ave. You're able to see the outline. Here we go. Of the building. Oh, you certainly can. So here, you guys get a little sneak peek of my video, part of it, sort of, without it being the actual video. Okay, so all this right here, this is all the outline of Eden Hall. So the church would have been like over here in this area somewhere. I mean, I do see this little rounded portion here, but that might not have been it, because I think if you look, you can see the lines going across here for the wall. And if that's the case, then the church would have been right here. And the rest of this would have been like the convent and the school and the dormitories, all kinds of stuff. There was like a tower building over this portion right here somewhere too. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, look, I never even noticed that. You can see the outline of the whole building. So the foundation is still there. You just can't see it when you're standing on the field. But I mean, how cool is that? That's awesome. Let's see here. Where the small creek goes under Haunted Lane, that small creek was dammed to create Lake Louise. The shooting range was right next to it. It was outdoor and not the one on State and Station. I sure did. And I got that on the video. I got that on the first video too. But yeah, I saw that. Let's see here with this one. So the little creek that goes under. Let me come back to. Looking. Here, let me bring it up so that you guys aren't just looking at me looking. So this is State Road. Here? This creek right here? And then the lake was over in this area, huh? I remember reading something about. So here you have, right here is where that creek is going in. Well, the little whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's smaller than a creek. Obviously, there's a creek next to it, but I do see that it goes under it. And I remember somebody talking about a lake that was somewhere up here, like up Winks Lane too, they said. And there was something that went on there. Well, I guess you had the shooting range, but maybe there was like another day camp or something. I don't know. Let me come back to the stream, see what. Yes, that creek. Okay. So, yeah, I guess that must be the one that I had heard about, and I can't remember what was in connection with. I think people said they used to go into the lake, like maybe they had something there, a day camp, something like that. Yeah, that would make sense. But it doesn't seem to run any further than this. I mean, you can see it's on the other side of the bridge there. But how far in does it go? Well, you can see a little indentation in the trees here. Sort of, but then it seems to disappear. Oh, wait. There's part of it there. So I wonder if it was around here somewhere. Had to have been. Because like they said, it was up Winks Lane. So that had to be it. That's very cool. Some justification on something I had heard about some time ago or read about some time ago. I can't remember. I think somebody was telling me about it. Might have been one of the volunteers for the garden, too, now that I'm thinking about it. Might have been Mike. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen any of the volunteers in quite some time, really. I mean, I know it's not the season for them to be there, but also towards the end of their season, which they would normally be there on Sundays, I was no longer working on Sundays. I went to a different schedule. But yeah, I still commend them on all the work they did in there, and really helped out my vision of digging out all those paths and everything, and the chessboard. The lake was a triangle below the creek. The shooting range was the building on the other side. So this area right here. Then I guess there was another one up this way too. I mean, you can. Well, that's the preserve area too. Or do you mean this triangle where it says Ward Trucking? Is that what you meant? Or did you mean the one that was like right next to the creek there? So you said the lake was the triangle below the creek. Below the creek. Still interesting though. Do you remember when around that was? Like what year? I mean, my young memories of Croydon are basically just at my grandparents' house, and some surrounding areas. I mean, I also have memories from being a kid at Neshaminy State Park, but all I remember is the pool. Had I known then what I know now, I'd have been looking at the barn. I'd have been looking at the carriage house. If only I could go back in time. That's one thing I would love to see. I would love to visit Sorobia in its heyday. Just kind of come in, hang out, and party with those people. I think that would be great. That would have been so fun. But what's this? Okay. Some weird notification. Computers are wonky things sometimes. But yeah, I mean, if anybody ever has any suggestions, you could always go to my Facebook for This Is Tom's World. The link to that, as I mentioned earlier, is always in the bottom of the description of every video that I make. You can click on that and send me a message. If you don't have Facebook and you'd still like to send me a personal message, you just let me know in like a like a comment on one of my videos saying, "Hey, I'd like to get your email address." I put it out there a couple times, but instead of having to search through every video, um, you can comment that on yourself, and I can send you my email address. Um, but ideally, Facebook is the way to get a hold of me. I always see those messages, um, and you can make a suggestion of a place for me to go. If you have any added information about these places, pictures, anything, like send me everything you can, because it all helps in saving time on the research so that I can get there quicker. But I definitely want to try a lot of new places this year. My goal this year is to try to get, I don't know, as many videos up there as I can, as many new places as I can. I have some ideas of places that are pretty far away, like, I mean, drivable within a day, but wouldn't want to walk it, kind of thing. Um, and that will have to be more in the warmer weather, because some of those places are not accessible right now. They're seasonal, but I mean, if there's anything local that any of you can think about, Northeast Philly, especially far Northeast Philly, Bensalem, Humeville, like anything up around anything in Lower Bucks County, um, definitely. I mean, I've gone into Upper Bucks County when I went to Ringing Rock Park, but that was fun. Outside of Stephanie getting hurt, that sucked. But the experience was one that I've been waiting for a while, so it was fun for me. But like I said, I'm starting to run out of places. I'm always trying to find things online. I'm always looking up, like, hidden history in Northeast Philly, hidden history in Bensalem. Problem is it hasn't been found. I'm not going to be able to find anything about it. But people may know things from growing up in these neighborhoods, saying, "Hey, I remember when I was a kid, there was this, part of a building here and everything." And I do know in Delhas Woods, I do intend on going into there. I have pinpointed, I know exactly where the what's left of the munitions buildings are in there. I do know where they are. It's just a matter of getting there, and it's a long walk to those, what's left, like the foundations. So I do know of that one. And a fellow YouTuber has been there before. I actually contacted them, Rustic Ventures. I think that was my first contact with them, is asking them how to get to that. And then my second contact was asking them how to get to the water treatment plant or whatever it was for Byberry, which I eventually got to. I think the only thing with Byberry that I need to do to wrap up that series, because I'm not going to get in the underground, it's just not going to happen. So the only missing piece is to get on the other side of the boulevard from Benjamin Rush and show where the buildings were, because some of the parking lots and the surrounding cement area that went around the main admissions building and everything is still there, but none of the buildings are there. There is a wooded area off to the side. Maybe there might be something in there. I don't know. I plan on checking when I get in there, but in the warmer weather, there was no getting in there. I mean, that brush is thick, and I think I could probably get in there now. So that might be sometime in the very near future where I get there and I can wrap up that series of Byberry Mental Hospital, because I think I would have found and shown just about everything at that point, outside of the warehouses that are no longer there. But I think they were when I was in the woods across Southampton Road from that, and I was showing those driveways that kind of, I guess there were roadways that went around what used to be the factories there. I was in them at one point when they were still up, but long ago, probably like over 20 years ago. I'd say definitely over 20 years ago. More like 30 years ago. Wow. Yeah, that didn't make me feel old at all. But it, I think so. I think with that, I probably showed everything that once I show the main area of Bavaria, that'll be the last of it. I mean, it's not to say that I'm not going to still go through Benjamin Rush if I find cool things. I know there's a couple things in there that I have not gotten on video yet. I just have to find them. I know of them. I just don't know exactly where they are. But probably have nothing to do with Byberry. But yeah, I guess I will probably start to wrap this up here because it's been an hour and 10 minutes, and I do still have some editing to do on my my new Eden Hall video. I'm not going to get it all done tonight, so here's hoping that I get it done and uploaded by this time tomorrow, so that you can all see it before you have to go to bed. I will be going to bed early tonight because I have to go back to work. I took off today, just because. And I'll be going back tomorrow. So I'm going to edit for the next at least couple of hours and see if I can get this as close to done as I can. Anyway, yeah. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. Even if you're watching it on Facebook, hit the like button. And if you would like to check out my merch shop, you can head, if you're not watching this on YouTube and you're watching it on Facebook, head over to my YouTube channel. The link to my merch shop is in just about every one of my videos, at least for the last, I don't know, 8-9 months or so. And you can get yourself some Tom's World gear. You can also benefit the channel in multiple ways. You can hit the super thanks button, which will be down here somewhere when you're watching this on YouTube. It's got a little $sign on it. Contribute whatever you'd like, or just by simply liking the video and sharing the video or sharing the channel itself. These are all means of supporting the channel, and I appreciate everything. Even merely just watching these videos that I put out helps a lot. Love the views, love the comments, love the support. You guys are awesome. So I guess I will end this now. I will see you all later. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Here's hoping 2024 is a happier and more prosperous one for us all. And I will talk to you all later. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.